210.4. Today is November 21st. It's the week of Christmas, not of Christmas, excuse me, of Thanksgiving. And lo and behold, as fate would have it, because I opened my fucking mouth and said I never get sick, I'm sick. Yes. I've been sick for a week as of today. Like last week I started to feel like a little weird and off in my nose and my, like up through here, sinuses. And it's been a week of like blowing out some pretty gross stuff and hawking up some pretty gross stuff and stuff like that. And, you know, I definitely feel flatter. Even though my weight is about 210, I still feel flatter and like more run down than normal. Trying to get a little more sleep, but, you know, it doesn't happen all the time. So we're going to do a quick physique update today. Not a whole lot has changed. I'm eating the same foods, doing the same routine. Just trying to recover. I haven't been hit by a sickness this hard in like, shit, it's been a very, very long time. This one, and a couple of my clients had it, and a few other people I know had it. It's like a sinus infection, not really a chest cold, but you don't really feel that bad physically. You just have like this, like, just gunk all through here, and you're blowing this stuff out of your nose and stuff. And I got this nasal rinse that you shove up your nose, you squeeze, and everything comes out the other side. And like your throat hurts because it's like the back of your nasal passageway, like where it meets your throat is really where this shit kind of settles. And like my glands are fine, so it's like it's you know, it's some kind of infection, but it's not like earth shattering, you know. And I've had people ask me like, Jerry, I'm sick, should I go to the gym? Yes, you should still train, eat your food, go to work, do your daily things. Because after like 48 hours, you're not contagious anymore anyways. But the only time you don't go to the gym, fever, okay? Even if it's like 100. Fever, you don't go to the gym. Vomiting, you don't go to the gym. Diarrhea, you don't go to the gym. Everything else, head cold, sinus infection, chest cold, I still go and train. That's just what I do. Even bronchitis, I'll go to the gym and I'll train. So let's do a quick little physique update here. Get this done. As you can see, I'm maintaining. I do feel like I said, flatter and bloated at the same time, which kind of sucks, but I don't know if you have to fix that again. All right, so we're sitting about 210 pounds today, which is pretty much where I want to stay at. Don't really want to get much smaller or bigger than this. Just kind of maintain this for now, and it's actually a lot easier for me to maintain this size. So we're not going to do a whole lot of talking today because my voice is pretty messed up. So we're gonna do breakfast. Erin actually has the day off. She's actually in bed right now. She went back to bed. The cases were not as crazy. It's been super crazy for her for literally the last 2 weeks. I mean, insane at work for her. People are just really sick right now. Heart problems, vascular problems, lung problems. I mean, it's just been off the fucking chain how much she's been working. So when the cases were short today, she finally got to go home early. So she's actually back in bed resting, and Brady's actually in there with her. You can see behind me the trees set up, which, why don't we see if we can take this off. Set up a little early this year. And let me see if I can do this without fucking breaking anything. So we went yesterday and got the tree, and I really wanted to get the one with the pine cones and these little kind of fuzzy things here. So it's not as like fake looking. It's a spruce. So there's spruce and there's pine. There's different kind of fake trees, which I did not know. Actually, I had no clue about. But you can see down here like the pine cones and stuff. They look super real. So I wanted something that was like nice that we were gonna have, you know, for years and years to come. That looked fairly real, legit. You see this little tree skirt down here. This thing. Right here. Yeah, I was in the bathroom last night and heard Aaron going, Brady, no! He grabbed that thing and dragged it across the fucking living room over there. You can see his tire and his bone on the floor over there. He dragged it across the living room over there. So we're gonna go ahead and start our day now and eat. And we're gonna head out to Rockville again. So I have back-to-back clients today. And tomorrow I don't have any clients. Usually Tuesdays are off, but Wednesday I usually have clients, but I'm actually setting them up today because Wednesday, I'm not sure yet, but as far as I know, I'm on the confirmed app for Adidas, and they've taken I've signed in. Today I'll confirm my reservation for 2 of the new Yeezy shoes that are coming out, the Yeezy Boost V2s. There's a black with a pink stripe and a black with a green stripe. As far as I know, I'm getting both of those pairs. And to get those from the app, I have to drive into DC to the Adidas store, and that's where I'll pick them up. So that will be the day before Thanksgiving. I'll be driving into fucking DC, which may or may not be crazy. And then Thursday's Thanksgiving. So let's get the day on and get moving. Well, we actually could do a little real quick Thanksgiving thing, because we got people that always ask about eating on holidays and stuff and how not to get fat. Aaron and I were just talking about this the other day, how we actually usually get in better shape over the holidays while people are usually getting out of shape. And what it boils down to is we eat, you know what I mean? It's not like we don't eat Thanksgiving at her parents' house. We'll go to her parents' house, turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, baked potatoes, whatever the fuck they eat. But you don't go fucking crazy. You know, I think people in this holiday season, the week before Thanksgiving, they're already starting to kind of slack off at work and shit, and starting to already kind of loosen up their diet a little bit the week before Thanksgiving, or the week of Thanksgiving. And then they eat on Thanksgiving and get fucking really fat and bloated. I mean, you sit there and you're like, oh, you can't even believe you ate so much, right? Black Friday, a lot of people have that off. It's full of shopping and eating more. So you have those 2 days. Then the weekend comes and it's like, yay, the Christmas season has started. Then the things like, you know, the Christmas parties, the, you know, shopping at the mall and stuff, you know, all these different types of things, going out to eat with friends at restaurants. Like, we'll have friends actually come in from Chicago, Jem and Diane and stuff. We meet them at Seasons 52. And, like, we eat. We have Friendsgiving, which is this weekend, which is like a bunch of our friends get together at one house and bring a bunch of leftovers or make food. And it's like a second Thanksgiving just for friends. So it's like we all do our family thing, then we do the friends thing. So it's like Friendsgiving. Again, we'll have Friendsgiving. We'll have a meal there. It's not like we will skip the meal or anything like that or take protein shakes with us or something. But again, it's like it's super controlled and it's, you know, close to hitting our macros. So it's very IFOM for the holiday. And then I think a lot of people after Thanksgiving, as Christmas is coming, work, they slack off like a motherfucker. People like don't even work in December, just from my experience. They basically kind of go in and do what they got to do, the minimal they got to do before they fucking get out. There's a bunch of happy hours. The weekends are, you know, filled with, you know, I don't want to say parties, but parties, fun things revolve around food. Then Christmas comes and they just fucking, you know, by that time, hey, it's the holidays, it's Christmas, they just eat crazy, like crazy. Then, well, you know, I'll start my thing on New Year's, right, which is a week away. So they just continue that fucking bad habits of eating. And they usually push the boundaries a little bit. Alcohol, food, you know, they push the stuff really far until the New Year's comes. The New Year's resolution is I'm going to get in shape. So they go from like basically Thanksgiving to, you know, which is the end of November to the end of December. So 30 days of really eating shitty and going wild. And then all of a sudden they think they're going to snap their fingers and all of a sudden everything's going to be like, oh, you know, I'm on my diet and I'm getting leaner. And it really doesn't work that way. So I think, like, you know, being aware of what's going on during the holidays and being controlled, you know, not skipping things, not starving yourself, not bringing protein shakes to, excuse me, till like Thanksgiving, excuse me, and Christmas and stuff like that. But being aware of what's going on, being controlled goes a long way. And of course, we'll still train, still do our cardio. A lot of people will skip training because they want to go shopping for Christmas. You know, get shit done for the holidays. Like we put up the tree last night. That was Sunday night. Her and I don't train Sunday night. Other people may put up in the middle of week, you know. So, okay, well, wife wants to put it up and decorate. So what I'll do is I'll just go home. I won't go to the gym, stuff like that. So being aware of what you're doing, I think is super important. And staying on track the best you can and not going overboard. I think going overboard is what really fucks up a lot of shit for people. So, all right, let's have this first meal and get our shit to the gym and get it done. I decided to get while we were out last week, or while I was out last week, is the Roomba thing. It's like a robot that cleans the floor. So there, Aaron and I don't have to sweep the floor. It sets, and you set the thing, and once it's set, it goes on by itself and cleans the floor. Brady thinks it's the coolest thing ever. Let's hit that first meal of the day. So do we want the mess hall pancakes, which has like M&Ms, coconut, all that stuff? Or do we want the peach cobbler pancakes? I think we're gonna go peach cobbler today. Yeah. Before I left the house, I got a box from Primeval. This is the type of shit they sent me. You already know. And I was like, I already know what. What the fuck? I'm like, this could be anything. It could be because there's a new Intracell coming out. There's a new Adrenal Rush flavors. there's several new products that are coming out. So I was like, shit, what the fuck? What could this possibly be? Now, it's actually the new mango flavored Intracell, which I have not tasted yet, but this is the final version of it, and I'm super excited about giving this thing a shot. We just dump. This is 1 scoop. I'm just gonna dump the 1 scoop directly in the water. Now, I remember I watched an interview or a review from I'llPumpYouUp.com talking about us putting the glycerol in here in a high dose with clumping. There is no clumping with this glycerol. It's Hydromax. That's the one that actually clumps up. It's very hard to control, and that's why we have this type of glycerol in it, so that it does not clump up. There's no clumping whatsoever. It looks more like pina colada, but I'll give it a good shake. No clumping. You can see there's nothing floating around in there whatsoever. Legit. Some bubbles, but that's it. So give this one a shot. Wow, fuck. Wow. That is super, super good, man. Take my pyretic, which I don't use it as a fat burner. I actually use it for the effects of my memory's drawing a blank. The endurance effects, Jesus Christ. So good I can't even think. We fucking nailed it with this one. Good job, guys. Amazing. So we're gonna hit back now. Alright guys, bear with me with my Vin Diesel wannabe voice over here. I'm still sick. So basically I started out my workout today in Rockville with chin-ups. I used the assisted chin-up. Really don't feel very strong right now. Actually kind of run down. Really didn't even feel like training, to be honest with you. But, you know, you go and you just get it done. So you can see I'm trying to get a full range of motion and squeeze right here. Not trying to break any records in the gym. You know, full extension, full squeeze at the top. And I think that, you know, when you're sick and you can't really hit things as heavy as you want to, squeezing the shit out of things goes a long way. You're still going to be at least, very least, maintaining if you're not progressing. And if you can maintain while you're sick, then you're going to progress when you start, you know, hitting the gym hard again. Super important. You move on from there to a reverse grip pull down. As you can see to my left, there's a lady on that high row. I actually wanted to use that machine, but that trainer, my buddy Scotty, was training on her on there for quite a while. So I was like, all right, I'll just pick something else for now. It really doesn't matter. We don't have that high row machine at Export, so I like to use that when I'm there. So instead I went for 4 sets of reverse grip pull downs. I tried to get a stretch at the top, squeeze at the bottom. And you can see, even though the lats are supposed to be squeezing, you can see my traps contracting every single time. My traps just take over no matter what I do. It's just the way my body's built. I mean, at this point I try to concentrate and isolate areas, and still, when you see the video, like, you know, you start to see your traps, you're like, fuck, of course they're contracting like that. Moving on to one-arm dumbbell rows. And I'm still getting used to using the Versa grips. Completely different feeling than a regular strap, but they're pretty cool. So I just kept it light with 80 pounds. And you can see it's not just controlled and stretch, but I'll get a good squeeze and make sure that I am actually controlling that weight. Biggest mistake dumbbell presses that I see guys make. Oh, you gotta do the 150s, gotta do the 180s, gotta do the fucking 200s. Dude, get over it. You know what I mean? Like Lee Haney and those guys had fucking fantastic lats. And they used to use literally like nothing more than a 100-pound dumbbell. Lee Labrada, Lee Haney, all those guys back in the day, and, you know, had some of the best backs ever. So it's not just about the weight. Of course, you're going to train heavy enough to stimulate muscle growth, but throwing weight around, you know, it works for, actually throwing weight around works for Branch Warren just great, but I see a lot of guys throwing around a lot of weight, and, you know, their backs are not very good. So there has to be something said for, you know, actually controlling the weight and making the muscles actually do the work themselves and not just flipping that weight around. Isolation movement, rope, stiff arm pull downs. You'll notice I keep my elbows bent because my triceps really tend to take over on this if I keep them locked out, which is again why I use the rope. If I use a bar, they really take over, and I don't want to feel this in my triceps. You know what I mean? I want to feel this obviously in my back. You get that great burn right underneath the armpit. You know, whether or not it's stimulating growth is debatable. Some people will say it does, some people it doesn't. For now, like, I'm trying to maintain, so basically anything that's stimulating these areas and keeping them full, pumped, you can feel the muscle working, that's the direction I'm going to go in. So here, this is actually not a very good angle. So I set all this shit up on a little tripod myself, so sometimes the angle's bad, the lighting's bad. But these are high rows to right below the chin. Now again, this hits like that mid-trap area, that rhomboid area. I mean, apparently it's, you know, obviously it's going to hit some of the rear delts and stuff like that too. Isolation movement, something you can't go very heavy on. But it's one of those like quote-unquote finishing moves, but I'll always try to add it in. Doesn't really matter where I add it in. I'll put it in the beginning, sometimes the end, middle. Doesn't really matter. And from here, I decided to go on to one-arm cable rows, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I just feel like I get better contraction on these than I do with a dumbbell. And I felt like, obviously, since I'm sick, I couldn't really go heavy enough to feel the dumbbell row very good. So I said, you know what, let me hit a few sets of these, throw those in there. And again, the high row machine was still being used, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just go do these instead. And now we move on to biceps. So this is rope, cable, hammer curls. I gotta say that fucking slowly. Rope, hammer, cable curls. I start out going a little bit lighter, getting a little bit better pump. Now, this is actually my second back workout in 3 days. So I did back on Saturday. I filmed a video for a1supplements.com. I did back training. So today is even like, you know, an easier back work than I would normally do because I literally trained on Saturday. Today's Monday. Same thing with the biceps. Obviously, I was doing a good back workout. Not a good, but a heavier back workout on Saturday. Biceps take some of that load. Triceps don't take the load. I don't know why I flex my triceps in the fucking camera, but whatever. So basically, you just kind of tone it down a notch so that I try not to injure myself. I mean, I'm 40 years old. Shit happens. And I like training. Let me rephrase it. I love training. And I want to train as long as I can and be as healthy as I can. And that means sometimes being smart. It doesn't mean pussying out and going easy. It means being smart. So like here you see me doing the 2-arm dumbbell curls. You'll see me go from 1 arm to 2 arms, then actually go back to 1 arm as they start to fatigue a little bit. I think these are 30-pound dumbbells. It's either 25 or 30-pound dumbbells. Not very heavy, just something to get in there again, get a pump, and get the fuck out of the gym. Trying to maintain the size again, so, you know, 210 is where I'm trying to maintain at. And, you know, it's 25s. 210 is where I'm trying to maintain at, and I just don't need to be curling fucking 60-pound dumbbells to maintain 210. It's like, you know, you shouldn't do any more than you have to get the results you need. If you have to do 25s, do 25s. If you have to do 60s, do 60s. But if you can do 25s and stay, you know, keep your arms the size that you want them, do less. Finishing up with roach crunches, as you can see, I don't bend at the waist. I actually crunch. I curl over. I pretend that there's like a broomstick there and I'm trying to curl over it, which really hits the rectus abdominis a lot better than hip flexors. Again, been doing these at the end of every workout. Excuse me. Because I'm not squatting, so therefore my abs don't get any work like they normally would. So this is going to end this week's physique update. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in, and we're out.